Hey, what's going on, guys? TheKrowSama here, and welcome to my painted kit review. It's been a good while since I actually painted a kit. I think the last one I did paint was the Sananju Stein narrative version, which was a little bit earlier last year. I think it was maybe around like July, August time frame. But yeah, painting kits, it takes a lot of motivation for me to actually start the painting process. But with the Barbatos, it just came to me. I didn't feel the need to try and like give excuses on why I should paint this. I just wanted to paint it. So immediately after building this kit and reviewing it, I went ahead and got started on painting it. And this is pretty much the end result. There's a lot of issues, and there's a lot of things that I actually think I did fairly well on. But more importantly, there's a lot of stuff I want to reflect on and explain to you why I chose what I chose when it came to like paints, techniques, and different applications. So the first thing I do want to take a look at is going to be the head. Now, before I actually get started in the review, I do want to give a shout out to newtypehq.com. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video and just allowing me to, talk a little bit about this kit. But if y'all do want to pick up any kind of paints, tools, accessories, or even kits such as the Masquerade Barbatos, please go head over to their shop and pick up as much as you can and use that promo code TheKrowSama so that way you can get 10% off. Alright, so taking a look at the head unit first. I'm gonna just touch it a little bit. I can touch it, it's my kit. But yeah, so the first thing, I gotta address the elephant in the room. The yellow on this kit, it's very bright, extremely bright. I did not realize it, and I'll show you exactly what color I use. I'll kind of put it up at the front. I use Mr. Color Shara Yellow. So I actually really like this yellow. This is one of my favorite yellow paints. The problem with this is I was going for a very traditional Gundam look. Like, I really wanted a, just how a Gundam looks. You think yellow V-fins and you think, blue chest and all that. I was like, that's what I want. And I got a little bit more than what I wanted. I know the official artwork kind of shows the yellow to be a little bit more gold. But, I went ahead and took a chance. I thought maybe making it a little bit more yellow would be better. I've kind of dulled down my Barbatos Lupus Rex. I think that yellow came out a little bit darker. It wasn't this particular yellow. It was like just a flat yellow. And then I used gold for the Lupus, and I think I used another like very dull yellow. So historically for Barbatos, I never really used a very bright yellow. I took a chance, and this is the end result. So do I think that yellow looks good? I don't think it's a horrible color. I just think that with the overall tone of the mobile suit, it does not match. It's just something about it. It's too bright for a very faded look of the kit. The kit is kind of toned down in certain areas. But there are a lot of things in this kit that is really expressive, and that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted this kit to be loud. I wanted this kit to kind of tell a story with every single part. It's just kind of like the way I envisioned it. Now, probably in this video, or even in just like pictures, it may come off a little bit brighter because I have lights. I have to keep this thing illuminated because I have a very dark room. So the lights could be giving off a little bit of a brighter tone than what it's actually intended. But I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I was really hard on myself, and I really just kind of beat myself up the past night, and I was thinking, this is the worst thing I've ever built in my entire life, and I felt completely remorseful, and I truly wanted to throw this whole kit in the dumpster. I didn't think it looks good, and some people kind of agreed with me on it looked really bad, and maybe I should just start over. But I'm just gonna keep it as is. I'm gonna drown out the yellow the best I can before I leave. But yeah. Now moving on, I do want to also mention the effect part. So some people was mentioning a YouTuber, and I checked him out. Really good stuff. His Barbatos video is fantastic, and hopefully I can remember to put the link of that video in the description. If I don't, maybe someone can help me out and post it in the comment section. But the effect part he uses is essentially the same thing as I use. Now, this is the thing. People are kind of saying I referenced him. This is the color I use. It's kind of like a little sheet. But people are saying I referenced him. I didn't. So I really didn't even know this dude kind of existed until I think not in the middle, but it was nearing the end of this build. But I've already done this eye streak in 3 other previous Barbatos kits already. I've done green and I've done red. So I was like, okay, I see that on the box art of this kit it's blue. So I was like, you know what, I actually want to go and try a blue eye streak, just that is replicated on the box. So yeah, I've already made a video of me doing this back in 2017, I believe, with the Barbatos Lupus Rex. So it's not something that I was just like, oh, look, hey, I see this other YouTuber doing it, let me do it. And I'm generally a huge fan of the eye streak when it comes to Barbatos. So I was going to figure out a way to do this, and yeah, I went ahead and did it. And I already painted the eyes blue around that time that the video came out, so I was already in line to doing it. But yeah, I just cut out that little kind of effect part, like effect paper. I'm gonna try and maybe cut out another one and just change up the shape, because I think the shape is a little bit off. But regardless, I don't think it looks bad. I just think the creases, I'll have to like cut out a new one and try and figure out a way to avoid those creases. Now also throughout the kit I did use some brown weathering, so I'm gonna get really close to the Barbatos, and yeah, I used some ground brown Mr. Weathering color for pretty much a majority of the kit, and I also used brown panel lining for all the lining, just because I felt black was going to be too strong. I got the yellow, so I was like, you know what, maybe the brown's going to really keep the theme of like weathered, but I didn't want to like overdo it, so I did the best I could. And I don't think it's horrible. I just kept I got some bronze in there as well, but yeah, I just went ahead and did some washes of that brown all over, and a little bit of rust here and there. You're not going to see it on the video though. And then for the most part I kept the inner frame clean. I don't know why, because you would think the inner frame is going to be something that's super dirty, but to be honest, I really just want to keep the inner frame as clean as possible, to include the pistons. Now for the body, this is something that is super duper brighter on camera than what it actually is. The blue is a little bit more toned down. I mean, the blue is still pretty bright, but I think it's a little bit louder here, and you don't see that shading as predominantly as you see it on video right now. The shading is a little bit more, kind of faded in, but this looks like it's just like super loud. So apologies for the camera work. But the one thing I do want to mention is going to be those pistons. I did go with blue pistons, as you can see. I really had a vision in my head that those blue pistons were going to look super goddamn good on this kit. Boy, was I wrong. I don't know, I just made a bad judgment call. To be honest, I really don't have any excuses. I just really thought that the blue could look really cool, because I've never seen a Barbatos with blue pistons. And the thing is, machinery that I have around my work area, like I work on a military base, I see a lot of machinery, and some machinery I've seen has blue pistons, like has blue like hydraulics. And I'm like, man, I really want to put that into a mobile suit, because I'm so tired of seeing the gray. I'm so tired of seeing copper and gold and red. It's the same thing over and over again. And it's not to discredit any builders, because there's some fantastic builds I've seen that utilize those colors. But I really just want to stand out a tad bit more on my build and not be just another generic Barbatos build. Everything else is fairly much generic, such as the whites, the yellows, the reds, and blues. But I was like, at least with the pistons, I want to stand out. But I did my best. I think it came out okay. The chipping on the blue, I use I think it's called it's like a superior silver. My bad. It's called a DX rough silver. It's a really, really nice silver, and I just thought it looked really good when it came to looking at like different scrapes and stuff on the blue. So I don't know if that is the case, if it does look good or not. Maybe some people can let me know. But I just thought it kind of stood out a little bit more, and yeah, I didn't want the scrapes and the chipping on the blue to just kind of fade in with it, because it's black right there. So I was like, you know what? Let me put that silver and just see how it comes out. And I think I did an okay job. I didn't go as heavy as I did with the the Sinanju Stein. I think the Sinanju Stein did a horrible job when it came to chipping, but I think with this kit overall, I did a fairly good job, because even though some areas is a little bit too much, I think it still is a part of the theme of Barbatos. It's a very worn down mobile suit that is super close combat and gritty, so of course it's going to be a little bit worn. And here we have the arms. So basically the same thing applies to the arms as does like the head and everything else in this kit. The one thing that is going to be different though is going to be that red, or I guess like pink. Yeah, it's pretty much pink, right there at the shoulder. So I went with this, and you know, I think it came out okay, but what I should have done, so I painted a clear pink over chrome. What I should have done is painted gold over the chrome and then pink over the gold. I think that would have looked so much better. And this is like one of those cases, you know, you live and you learn. You kind of just go with the flow and see how it works. I do think the pink looks fine. It's a little bit more dull than what I really wanted. So it kind of is what it is, to be honest. But regardless, I think it looks okay. You got more blue piston in the back. Now, one thing I need to do is do some more chipping right here on the blue for the elbow. I didn't do any chipping on there, to be honest. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do some silver chipping on there just to kind of like keep the theme going. You know, it looks a little bit empty. I got red for those little hydraulics on the arms, the form, and the back. You know, I think the arms is probably my favorite part of this entire kit. I just think the arms look really good. Great amount of chipping. It's not like overdone. I think the colors are all pretty much spot on. Even the yellow to me isn't like really too bad on the shoulders as it is with the V-fin. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. And with looking at the waist, looks really good. I don't really have any issues. I think the yellow here is actually pretty good as well. The black looks good. It's pretty much a flat black. It's a really dark flat black as well. But yeah, I don't really have any issues. I don't think I messed up anywheres on the skirt. Came out pretty damn solid. Well, I guess the back of the skirt, I went way too hard on this side for whatever reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix it up and kind of like, you know, put a little bit extra on this side, just to really balance it out. I don't know what the hell happened over here, to be honest. But granted, I was doing a lot of this chipping at like 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning, so I was probably just a little bit, you know, extra tired. All right, and looking at the top half of the leg, I'm gonna run another wash on this because, you know, I don't think the wash did its job. It did stain up a little bit of the white, which I did want, but I think I could have done a better job. And you got that pink right there. Once again, I really do think the pink came out pretty damn good. You know, like I said, it could have been better. I could have put that gold underneath it, but I do think for the most part, if it hits the light a certain way, it's going to look just beautiful. And there is a blue hue to that pink because I slapped some like it's like blue prism on top of it, so I thought that looked pretty good as well. All right, now we're taking a look at the lower half of the leg. Just once again, some more chipping. I think everything came out. I think the blue and the red on the back of the leg actually looks so damn good. It's like the blue pistons on everything but the torso and the shoulders looks great. You know, maybe I should have went with red for the shoulders and the waist, or even gold, and just kept like the legs and the arms and everything else blue. But yeah, the bottom half of the leg looks fine. The yellow looks good. The red looks good. I think I'm just going to dirty up a little bit more of like some mud, because that's just kind of like random, that little tiny spot right here with some spots right here. I'm going to do a little bit more. So that's definitely going to be a change that's going to occur later this week. Now for the backpack, and I guess we're going to take a look at that sword. So the sword's not even dirty because I had no intention to display the sword with this kit, and I really still don't. I just kind of threw it on there just to throw it on there. Backpack looks good though. I actually kind of like what I did with this. I just did multiple blacks and browns, and I did some good chipping, and yeah, I think I did a good job with the backpack. So I'm going to pat myself on the back. And I did all for the inner frame, if y'all wondering, I did light gray metal, and then for like the weapons and the barrel of the smoothbore, I did a regular gunmetal, just to give it different tones. But I did spray light gunmetal in random parts on the smoothbore and the mace. Same thing with the sword. So it's gonna have like different tones if you kind of like catch it in the light a certain way. All right, now we're taking a look at the mace. So I did some shading, and you can probably easily see it. So, you know, some shading right here, did some shading on the inside. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't think it's horrible looking. I actually think it's pretty fine. But maybe some people are not going to be too fond of it. I did some shading right there for the mace as well. So some people are not going to like it, but, you know, I'm kind of just like, whatever. I think it looks fine. I don't think it really takes away from the aesthetics. But I probably could have added a little bit more of, you know, color to the mace, but I think it's fine. And lastly, we're going to talk about the smoothbore gun. So with this, or smoothbore cannon, whatever you want to call it. So I didn't finish this. This is an incomplete smoothbore gun. The green is a lot brighter on camera than what it really is. It's a little bit more toned down. One of the major things about this that I don't care for is that the fact it's shaded super heavy, and I used black for the shading. I should have used maybe gray or even like brown. Yeah, like something super light. But I really should not have went with black, because I really wasn't thinking that because the green I was using was a lighter tone green, that black was going to show up so much. So yeah, that kind of sucks. The barrel looks good. Some people were saying that the shading on here looks bad because it looks like it's broken up into 3 different parts. Honestly, it's kind of whatever. I mean, it has panel lining in there anyways, so I'm kind of like, you're going to see, you know, it's going to look like that no matter what. Even if I didn't, you know, do some shading, I think you still would have saw all 3 of those little, you know, indentions. But the white looks good. Everything else looks pretty fine. I just need to add more color to that green, because it's just one big block of green, which looks pretty ugly. So I'm going to add some different tones of colors in there. But I don't think I'm going to really display this kit with that smoothbore gun. So honestly, what are my final thoughts on this entire painted build? Well, you know, there's a lot I still need to do, and I really don't want to spoil too much, because I really want to make another video on just updates and kind of things I've tweaked and made a little bit better. But unfortunately, I am going to be gone for about 2 months. I am bringing this kit with me because there is a gunpla, or I would say just a model competition over in Richmond, Virginia, and it's going to be happening next month. The name of the competition just leaves me, but there is a sci-fi category, and I want to see what this thing can do in a competition. I don't think I did the best of job because the shading, it's kind of spotty here and there. Like, it's really strong in one area, it's really weak in another area. I think the little power, you know, little power symbols, whatever, on the shoulders and knees and all that, I don't think it's as vibrant as I really want it to be. The yellow is super bright, which I'm going to tone down. At least that's one thing I'm going to fix. And there's just some other little small issues here and there, but you know, there's some things that I'm going to work on, but I want to just bring this to a competition, see what judges even think. If they think, hey, you know, they may give me some pointers, like, hey, you could do this, this, and this, and this will look a lot better. But you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that and roll with it and do the best I can. Some people have given me advice already on this kit. They kind of mentioned, like, hey, you know, you should kind of like do some weathering on the pistons and really tone it out. I feel like if I did that, I'm kind of going against what my original ideas were. The pistons, I just need them to be clean. I know this thing is weather. I know it's been through shit, but I need these pistons to be as sparkling clean as possible. Don't ask me why. It's just that's the way I feel, and that's the vision I have for this kit. Everything else I really don't give a shit about, maybe just except for like the power little symbols and the eyes. That's the only thing I really want to keep shiny as well, but the pistons, that needs to stay the way it is. Everything else I've already dulled down as much as I can. But yeah, I'm gonna give it another wash and just see what another wash is gonna do to this kit. Hopefully it does something, to be honest. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna spoil everything else I'm gonna be doing, but hopefully you guys appreciate the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy the look of this painted build and just me kind of talking about it. And if you do have any pointers, hey, let me know in the comment section below. I'm always open to constructive criticism. But if you kind of just come in here and, you know, say like, oh, you should just, you know, just throw it away, even though I've already said I felt that way, it's not really too constructive. So help me out if you can. If you do know of any kind of maybe tutorials, or you just have any sound advice for what I can possibly do to help my situation, definitely let me know. But I'm gonna get back to doing some videos. I'm gonna get back to doing some building up until Friday morning, where I have to leave and go, to Los Angeles, and then I go to New Orleans, and then I finally go to Virginia for 2 months, and I'll be back in March 17th. So that's it for me, guys. You'll still expect to see videos. Don't worry, I'm gonna backlog some videos here and there. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I think it's time for me to get some good earned sleep after this crazy build. But that's it. I'll be seeing you guys later.